In all these different groups that I'm in, I've seen a lot of moms be like, oh, I failed. Oh, all these other kids are getting all this great stuff. Woo, woo, woo. First and foremost, this is a public service announcement. You are not a failure as a mom. Parents, you are not a failure as a parent. Like, yes, some people are getting their kids these extravagant baskets and putting all these things together. And I may even say this, like, don't. Now, this is going to post the Monday or Easter Monday. Don't feel like you're a failure. Don't feel like, oh, you're a bad parent. Was your child happy for Easter? Did y'all have moments together that really make you smile, that'll be memories that you can scrapbook later? That is what's important, and that is what matters. On Fix It with Fran, yes, I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun, but really at the heart of my channel is helping folks out and giving useful tips to help life in general. So with that being said, if you like that kind of content, if you're here for that kind of content, if you're another mom out there or a parent, I'm a parent of a 2-year-old, please do like, subscribe, and stay connected to the channel because I am going to be way more intentional about sharing some of my tips, especially when it comes to things that I do for my toddler. In this case, yep, you read that correctly. I did not make my toddler an Easter basket, and I don't feel bad about it. And I'm going to tell you why. Hey y'all, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. If you're new to the channel, you may have clicked on this because the title caught your attention. This is not clickbait. I am going to be talking about some real mom-ish, and especially a lot of what I've seen today. So I'm recording this on Easter Sunday. And in all these different groups that I'm in, I've seen a lot of moms be like, oh, I failed. Oh, all these other kids are getting all this great stuff. Woo, woo, woo. First and foremost, this is a public service announcement. You are not a failure as a mom. Parents, you are not a failure as a parent. Like, yes, some people are getting their kids these extravagant baskets and putting all these things together. And I may even do, like I say, my fancy editing and stitching baskets that I've made for Monica in the past. But my baby's first Easter basket was literally just like some teething rings, a sippy cup for her to start practicing with that because she was around 6 going on 7 months her first Easter. And that was it. And then the second year, because I was very intentional about picking up things as I go, like I was able to, put together a really big basket, but most of those things came from dollar stores, be it Dollar Tree, Dollar General, probably some things from Amazon, but the good bulk of it were things from dollar stores. And again, that was back when Dollar Tree was really $1. So I wanted to come on here and say this, like, now this is going to post the Monday or Easter Monday. Don't feel like you're a failure. Don't feel like, oh, you're a bad parent. Was your child happy for Easter? Did y'all have moments together that really make you smile, that'll be memories that you can scrapbook later? That is what's important, and that is what matters. On Fix It with Fran, yes, I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun, but really at the heart of my channel is helping folks out and giving useful tips to help life in general. So with that being said, if you like that kind of content, if you're here for that kind of content, if you're another mom out there or a parent, I'm a parent of a 2-year-old, please do like, subscribe, and stay connected to the channel because I am going to be way more intentional about sharing some of my tips, especially when it comes to things that I do for my toddler. In this case, I'm going to be talking about like a rewind of Monica's Easter this year. So I made, like I said, stitching some pictures of her past Easter basket because that was more extravagant. This Easter, Monica didn't get a basket. Like I had a basket that I was going to use in theory. But with everything that's been going on, if you've seen my other videos and my Sunday sit downs, you know, life has been life in me. So I'm here and I said, Monica, once she walked up on one of the baskets and just started opening stuff in the box that I had moved upstairs. I'm in our playroom right now. And I said, let me just start putting stuff together. She walked in that night and saw it. And at that point I was like, life on life's terms. Let the baby play. Because isn't that what it's for? It's not for me to be staging, oh, this beautiful picture. Like, okay, I did that for Valentine's Day and I did a vlog on that. But that wasn't the whole point of it. The point of it was to see her enjoy it. I put it together and laid it out. She didn't care about that. And kids don't care about that stuff. I saw one mom in one group and it really didn't make me sad because she literally had a bucket that was cute. And it was a bucket of stuff that her son had picked out. And she's like, I feel, and it was, I think it's like an average mom group on Facebook. So the whole point of being in that group is like, we saying we average moms, like we ain't extra. And as much as I can be extra, I thought her basket was cute, especially because if that little boy picked out those different things and that's what he wanted, he's going to be way more excited than the kid who gets the bike and the trampoline and this and that. If they didn't care, like sometimes kids get these gifts that matter to us as parents and they give less than 2 cents about it. Like they'll look at me like, okay. And we can't project that onto them of like, oh, I need this feeling of acceptance. I need this feeling of my ego being boosted. Follow the kids' lead. I say that all the time. And that's my opinion and my expertise as a child and family welfare specialist. Like I did training on that at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, who beat Duke in the Final Four, even if we didn't win. Had to say it, had to do it. But yeah, like, don't do that kind of stuff because one, it's going to also feed into your relationship. And this is getting way into more therapist mode. Like you don't want these kind of expectations and feeling like, oh, you always have to do and perform, because then you end up sometimes projecting that kind of performance mentality and that whole people pleasing kind of attitude on your kids. That's another conversation for another day. Again, I'm doing a revamp of y'all or a rewind haul of the things that I gave Monica for Easter that she really loved. One of the things that she walked up in on are these little Easter eggs that I had. Hold on, let's get the white from behind. Yeah, these little Easter eggs that I had. Now, these are little eggs with the bunny ears. If I keep it real with y'all, the first one she was trying to figure out how to open it, she broke the ears off. And I again said, life is life, and it's okay. Two, because sometimes too we get these gifts and we want it to look so picturesque that if the kid picks it up and breaks it, it's like a meltdown on the mom's part. I don't do that. Let kids be kids. Let them have stuff. Let them break stuff. It's okay. So yeah, I never got a chance to stuff these with any candy because Monica found them, started playing with them, and I just let her do it. And that came from the Dollar Tree. I think it was a pack of 10 eggs. So if I say anything to moms or parents in general, if you want to be able to do more for your kids, sometimes it's not even about the whole where you get it from and how expensive it is. It's just starting kind of early. And again, I know that that comes with a certain privilege of being able to think about Easter gifts in January when Dollar Tree is putting out the good stuff, because that's when the Dollar Trees around me started putting out these cute little things. Was in January and more in February, but even like right after Valentine's Day, they really cranked it up. So again, to be thinking about that, but it's possible to do it. And I'll give you another one. We haven't dyed any eggs yet. I went back and forth about whether or not I was going to do it. This is on time for a lot of y'all because now is the time to be looking at the stores and picking up little things that are going to be clearance. And I'm not talking about the candy. I'm talking about little things like this. Like this is one of those Easter dyeing kits. I think I found this one of my trips to Winn-Dixie, and it wasn't even after Easter. I think it was like around Christmas or something. So I don't know if they found this like in the bag or had fallen behind a shelf or whatever, but I got this for 20 cents. And I held on to it because I said the dye, dye kits with you add the vinegar and do little stuff to it, and this is the one with the built-in stand. But I'm like, this is gonna work fine. Another example, I got this kit. Let's see if I can get it with that $1.99. These little dyeing buckets. So with this, I would have still had to get the dye, but I had those from this. This was at Goodwill, and I saw it and I picked it up because I keep at the house in our attic. And again, that's another privilege because I have storage bins and storage space to be able to do that. So I'm never going to give you a tip without acknowledging that my tip might not be realistic for everybody. If you're living in a smaller home, if you're living in an apartment, this may not work for you, but it's not impossible to still incorporate some of these different elements. So I'll say that again, kind of as a disclaimer. We ain't got no eggs yet. I went back and forth. We know right now with inflation and everything going on as far as the supply and demand chain, eggs are high. And then I said, is Monica, to also make a point, does not like hard-boiled eggs. I remember as a kid, I didn't really care about hard-boiled eggs. Right now, having done too many eggs on keto, I don't even want to eat no more eggs right now. So I said, Fran, who's going to eat these eggs if you do boil them? Nobody. So we didn't do any eggs. So this is going to go right back into my Easter bins And maybe we'll do them next year. But I'm not going to do things, again, just for show or to say, oh, we did it, or for the Instagram. I'm not about optics. Again, I said y'all going to get real mom-ish on this channel. Get over it, y'all. Like, I love, and I don't say that like dismissively, but I want us to get over it in the sense that we're not pressured or feel like we have to conform to these little ideas of, oh, what a perfect holiday looks like. You are a good parent. If your child is happy, if you do things to have special moments with them, that is enough. Not in the minimizing way, but that is enough. It's enough. You are enough. And again, this is me just going off the cuff because I've seen so many posts on social media in these little Facebook groups where moms are just like, I just feel so inadequate. For what? Like, by whose standard? Back to the haul. And keeping it really real, again, when I talk about my child being happy, I've gotten these little, what are they called? Cups is what Dollar Tree called them. But they're like blocks, kind of. They look like the Mega Blocks to me, but they're thermoses. And the cool thing about this is that, like, you can actually use this, and like Monica loves using them for her juice and her drinks. These were on the little orange sticker. It's from the clearance rack because I told y'all my favorite Dollar Tree here in New Orleans has clearance. So instead of them being $1.25, these were 75 cents a piece. Part of that is because they're missing the straws. But baby, we keep straws around here, and I like the little straws. You know, they're like the plastic kind of, not inchworm, but the little, I'm going to remember the word for it later. But they're basically the straws that kind of stretch and like they stretch and then they compact back down. Whatever the word for it is. It's easy to find replacements of those on Amazon. We have more of them around the house because we've gotten multiples of these. She has it in yellow, in purple, and maybe in pink. But I grabbed these because, one, I know as soon as she saw it, she'd be excited, and it's functional. I get Monica lots of practical things. Another thing that I got from Dollar Tree that I wanted to show y'all, I did a video actually. I may either stitch it back in or put it somewhere. Maybe I'll put it at the end to show y'all. When I say real mom girl-ish, like I started recording this. There was a storm coming through New Orleans yet again this past week. I was so distracted seeing the lightning flashing outside the window, and then it was just me and Monica at home because I think that was the night of a Pelicans game. So Brandon was out, so I was trying to keep an ear out for her. I was just like, forget it. Like, I'm not going to be one of those people with like what my toddler got in her Easter basket. And that's okay because I'm still a good mom. Period. So this right here is this little sticker story mat that again came from Dollar Tree. I thought it was so cool because we've had these before. I got another one that Monica hasn't opened yet. That's like the Disney princesses. But if you look at the back, all of them come with these little like background scenes. And you take these stickers. There's 80 different color forms because they're not actually adhesive stickers. They're this plastic material that's like friction based. I'm trying to see if Mr. Potato Head when it's around. And basically the plastic kind of clings either based on, I guess, like the friction or like static cling. So it'll adhere to the background. But she started playing with that Mr. Potato Head this morning and thought it was the best thing. And it keeps her occupied. And again, it may have 80 pieces. 30 of them may have already disappeared, but it was $1.25. So not only is it a good activity, it's a good thing for her. She can practice and play with it. But when the pieces are gone, parents, you don't care. You don't have to worry about it. It's, again, if I really want her to have another one of these, we can go back to the dollar store and get it. But I say that because too, so often I think us as parents, or at least me as a parent, I know when we get things, it's like, okay, you want to keep the pieces together so they can keep playing with it. Like, what good is the puzzle when you can only find 5 of the 25 pieces? But you know what? When you make a smaller investment and get it from the Dollar Tree or the Goodwill instead of getting it from Amazon or Target or wherever and having a bigger investment in it, it's that much easier for me to just let it be like dust off my shoulder. Like, you know what? She played with it. Even if she only played with it one time, it was $1. The end. So I got another one of those. And what I do often is, even though these are in her Easter gift, I may still, again, tuck this one away, put it under the bed, put it in another closet in the playroom so that she plays with this one until all the pieces have disappeared. Throw that away, and then later I can pull one out. So I'm basically saying I don't let her open both of these at once, because then it's all going to be for nothing. The pieces are going to be gone. She literally just played with it today. I'll slowly let her do whatever. And then this one, like later on, maybe in a week or so, next month even, I'll pull it back out. It's a brand new toy. She's excited all over again. And it was $1.25. Okay? So that's that one. These thermoses are going to be fun for her because she does like to try to play and stack them. And they will interlock a little bit. And then she has her juice. She drinks her juice out of these. Sometimes she drinks milk out of these. She actually likes them. Follow the kids' lead. What else? Oh, in my favorite Dollar Tree store, this is a, what is it? Scribble pad. Just some blank paper. This was also on the clearance rack, so it was 75 cents. Was in her Easter basket. So if I had really made her basket would have been real nice and full. But it would have been, one, things that she liked, and things that did not cost me an arm and a leg to get. Another thing that I love to get from Dollar Tree, these bubbles. This big old thing, 32 ounces of bubbles. And we know kids will get bubbles, kids will pick up bubbles, kids will dump out the bubbles. Like, I've gotten these bottles in her first Easter basket. I think this is probably from the collection of bubbles that I got like last Easter, because I went in and loaded up because I stopped seeing them up this size. So I did pay a true $1 for this at Dollar Tree, but I also got some of the smaller containers that are more like her size to hold so that I can refill them from this. But I use this to fill up her, she has a bubble mower. I also got one thing that I did find on Amazon, a leaf blower that's the shape of a bubble machine. So, or it's a bubble machine that is the shape of a leaf blower. And so since tomorrow is Easter Monday and her school is closed, we'll probably go outside and do some things like that and let her play with the little bubble machine and her bubble mower and have some time. But the investment of bubbles, $1. And I think I at least have like 5 or 6 of these still like in the cabinet chilling where she can't find them. That's one thing. Another cute little thing. So I will say that since Dollar Tree has gone up to $1.25, there have been some things in there that are like nicer. Like, I have seen a lot of more branded kind of cartoon and toys, like this Mr. Potato Head and the Disney Princess one. I threw it on the floor so I can't reach it. But also with the Encanto, this bag was in the store, or Encanto. This was $1.25, but it's a nice little reusable bag. And I love these for Monica, especially for her playroom, or if she's going to like her grandpa or her grandma's house or somewhere where we want to take some toys with her. It's enough size that we could drop in like her tablet, some of her puzzles, some little things that we know would keep her occupied. And instead of trying to stuff it into her baby bag or using it as a tote, you can have a bag that's really her bag that she thinks is cute and have her carry it even herself. The scribble pad is always good because now Monica likes to do letters. She likes to color. We're experimenting with using some markers that aren't just like the Color Wonder or the Imagine ink. So it's like real scribble markers. So being able to keep her contained with that or her crayons is great. And you can't beat getting a little scribble pad that would have cost you $1.25 for 75 cents. So again, that was another thing that would have been in this basket that I ain't feeling up at this point. She gonna get what she get. Keep it pushing. Another thing. So honestly, this is not sponsored or endorsed by Dollar Tree, but I told y'all I'm a real mom. I'm a real shopper. A lot of things I do like to get at Dollar Tree, and you could really make a nice Easter basket just getting things from Dollar Tree to stuff the basket with. No shade. Clearly that's about what I did. One thing that I often don't see in the store, but I did find out about, so I did it myself, is that Dollar Tree has, they're not really the best made, because again, it was $1, these little faux Barbie dolls. And Monica saw these. I had 2 of them. The other one she took out the box to, I don't know where it's at, somewhere in the stuff. So I'm thinking about doing a clean with me video, so y'all will get to see some of the chaos that ensues when Monica comes in this playroom. Oh, there the doll is over down the floor. If we do the clean with me video, y'all will see it. But Dollar Tree has these little Barbie doll style dolls. I ended up having to order these off of DollarTree.com, and they came to the house. It was a pack of 6 dolls, but this is again back when Dollar Tree was still $1. So they were $1 each. So I paid $6 but got a box of dolls. So I gave her some of these dolls for Christmas. I think I gave her like 2 or 3 for Christmas. And then I pulled out one day when she was like, you know, having a little fit and wanting to play with whatever. And then I pulled out the last 2 here for Easter. And she liked them. She was excited about them. So I did that. I got another empty box, I guess, from the Dolls on the Floor. What else I want to show y'all? Oh, now I do also do some educational gifts. I'm not going to lie. But I got these in advance, once again, from Amazon. And I got these during the sale that Amazon did. That was if you bought 4 books, then you got them for $5 a piece regardless of the price. So I usually, when they do a sale like that, I try to get the books that are more expensive. They're like $7, $8, $9. There will only be certain books that they include in that list. So it's either like a sale sometimes they do where it's 4 books for $20, or they'll do a special where if you hit the $20 amount, you automatically get $5 off. So if it's a sale like that, I'll try to do a combination of things that I know I'm looking for, like some of those Imagine Ink books that can be a little bit more expensive, or I'll try to get some of these letter tracing learning workbooks. Right now, Monica saw these and she's very interested in this type of book. I've also gotten these style of books from Dollar Tree. Now they won't be as thick, like they won't have as many pages, but they have some really good learning materials at the Dollar Tree. If you've never checked out that little learning educational section, it's usually right there where they have like the pencils and markers and school supplies, if it's a well-stocked store. I will also say though, sometimes those things go in there, and teachers also know about this section and they get cleared out very quickly. If you're in a city or area where homeschooling is popular, they can get cleared out very quickly. So when I say I have 3 or 4 different dollar stores that I like that's what I typically do, is to go in the area where, like, my one that has clearance is more in like a suburb where they're gonna clear out a lot of the educational materials, because that's an area with a lot of stay-at-home moms. Whereas like out in Chalmette or out in New Orleans East, sometimes those material sections will be there and loaded because people aren't shopping in those stores for that. They're shopping for other items. I got this one from Amazon though because they had one of those sales like I mentioned. But I love that this book has all these different tracing things. Like right now we were tracing them, and when she saw this last night, because again she bum rushed me and she wanted to see what I was doing, I didn't let her have a pencil, but I said, well, let's just trace it with our fingers. So she was tracing the letters and she was tracing some of the paths in the book. This is a second book that I got, this big preschool ABCs and 1, 2, 3 books. And this is the one we were sitting and looking at because she saw all these different little pictures. And this again is just a tracing exercise of them following the path. And since she, again, we didn't have a pencil, we didn't have a pen, I just sat here with her and let her trace it with her hand. And even on these other pages where it has shapes, and she was going circle and diamond and square. So it doesn't have to be extravagant, y'all. And I'm, again, no shade or anything bad about that, but this is really speaking to my fellow moms out there who feel like you didn't do enough or it wasn't extravagant enough. Kids aren't going to care about that. Literally in the long term, kids care about who spent time with me, who made me feel loved, who made me feel like they listened. And even though Monica's 2, you can see that she responds and knows and understands the people that just sit with her. Like, it doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be a big bounce house. It doesn't have to be a trampoline. It doesn't have to be a trip to Disney World. Those are nice and those are great things to do. But for me, quality time matters. For me, the intention matters. So again, just trying to encourage my folks out here who feel like you failed as a mom because you didn't do this grandiose Easter. It doesn't have to be all that. If you do it and that makes you happy, that's great. But if you didn't and you're feeling like, oh, you sold your child short, no, you did not. You just did not. So learning stuff is important. And we're going to use this for a while. Like, this is a small one, but this other book, I mean, let's see, are the pages numbered? This is over 300 pages of preschool activities. So I will probably come back if I do like this, because I'm gonna give it a real review. And if I like it, this will be one of my Saturday story time kind of book selections. It's a big preschool book. I think I like it though, because I've held on to that one for a while. I think I had that back at Christmas too, and I just didn't give it to her yet. Or no, Valentine's Day is when I had this. So I gave Monica some of the dolls for Christmas, then I gave her some of the dolls for Valentine's Day, and I gave her the last 2 dolls for Easter. And with the books, she had so much other stuff going on for Valentine's Day, like y'all saw. It was okay for her not to get no books. What else? This is another book that I got in that little special from Amazon that's all about the weather. Monica loves talking about outdoors and nature and weather. And I think this may be another book coming on my Saturday recommendations because it's so cool. It just shows all these different things. And again, I love good illustrations. Even when I worked at the public library in my hometown, I loved when the children's books had good illustrations. I helped with the little children's story time. One of the first grants that I ever wrote, for those folks that know about my grant writing history, was to get new books in my children's library collection. And I literally had to sit down and flip through every single book in the library to find an average copyright date. And usually I worked in the reference section or the adult collection or the North Carolina collection. So that was really fun for me, even though it was very tedious and to go through every book. But it took me back down memory lane because a lot of those books, like, okay, this was back in the day when you had the card that went into the book where you wrote your name. Like, I found some cards that had my name on it, like when I was a little kid learning how to write, and like checked out the books either with my mom or my grandma or my dad. So that was really like nostalgic for me, but also I love books. Even though I am a Kindle reader at times, I love physically holding on to a book, like turning the pages of a book. It just does something for me. So again, like, how detailed is this? To talk about all of the elements of weather on a child's level where they can really receive and interpret the information, but also learn, and it's just able to absorb that information. I think that's so cool. It talks about here, like how rainbows are formed and the prisms of light and all that. So I think Monica's gonna like this book a lot because she talks about like rain and weather and rainbows and that kind of thing. So I also got some more stickers from Dollar Tree. Again, this is 150 stickers. These are all Disney Princess stickers. And if you know anything about me and my child, you know I got these because they had some Moana stickers up in here. And I said, oh, gotta get it. Yeah, on this page you see the Moana stickers. That's my girl Moana. And I also got, I think I may have showed this. So unfortunately, some of the bubbles spilt on this book, so I'll probably have to replace it. But this little Moana picture book where you go through and coordinate. Yeah, I think. Yeah, y'all, it got wet. Not good. I'm going to replace it. But before this book got wet, you could click on it and click the different pictures that click the buttons that correspond with the pictures, and it would do all that fun stuff. So this is a whole lot of stuff here, like to fill up an Easter basket that didn't have to be expensive. Like this year for Monica's Easter basket, I am positive that I spent under $50 and still got her a lot of good stuff and fun stuff. Like in addition to these bunny shaped rabbits, there were some that looked like little chicks, and then there were some that were just colored. I'm not going to use them right now. They're going to go into my Easter bin and back into the attic because I didn't need to. It just was one of those things, like we weren't doing an egg hunt. We really weren't going anywhere. But my baby's happy. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters, if your kids are happy. This whole keeping up with the Joneses and comparison. I always think about that quote where they say comparison is the thief of joy. If you're not sitting around looking at, what everybody else is doing on Facebook or Instagram, and you're just in your little unit, happy with your little piece of the world, that's all that matters. Like, don't compare yourself to other moms. Don't compare yourself to other families. Have peace about what matters to you in your home. Especially for me, I have some other goals in mind this year for myself, for my family. My goals do not involve a lot of frivolous spending this year. Like, I'm being intentional about what I'm doing, how I'm saving, what I'm building. And that's what matters. Life, fulfillment of like your family, building legacy, building something that's going to last beyond a little seasonal holiday is what's important to me. So again, just sharing some little tidbits with y'all. I may try to come back at some point this week and let y'all know too about like what we do on Easter Monday. I ain't holding out no promises on that though, because life be life for me. So I don't know if that will happen this week. But As always, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. I truly do believe God has given us all gifts and talents that can fix some problem that exists in the world. And while there are many problems, y'all, I feel like we can all find our thing and fix it. So I pray until next time that you would find your thing and fix it. Thank you for watching. Again, to my moms and my parents out there, whatever you were able to do, whatever was reasonable and within your means and within your physical ability that you did for this Easter, it was enough, and you are enough. Love on your littles, love on each other, and remember at the end of the day that love is what matters. See y'all later.